Can I come in?
Yeah, Anshul, please come.
Sir, namaste. Namaste, sir.
Anshul, better. Please sit down. Comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Your introduction, Anshul?
My name is Anshul Bhatt and I hail from Devbhoomi, Uttarakhand. I graduated from St. Stephen's College, wherein I was the elected student representative for 3 years, President of Hindi Sahitya Sabha, Vice President of JCR Society, and I was associated various other clubs. My hobbies include graphic designing, I like to swim, I like rock climbing. Then I'm also fond of reading books. In fact, I'm writing a book on the folklores of Uttarakhand. And I've also dabbled in social service. In fact, I was associated with Mansingling School in Spiti Valley through my college.
So, Anshul, you are from Uttarakhand. Tell me, Uttarakhand has, you mentioned Devbhoomi,
Ji, sir.
and there is a lot of tourist footfall.
Ji,
You know, religious destinations always have more tourist footfall. Now, the issue is of fragility of the ecosystem, and over tourism is a menace.
Ji, sir.
Now, how would you tackle the problem of over tourism? Suppose if you were the district magistrate of whichever district Char Dham is,
Yes.
or Nainital is,
Yes, sir. Nainital.
and maybe Mussoorie.
Ji, sir.
Tell me.
So, sir, I have lived in Nainital. So, if I talk about Nainital, I think there is indeed a problem of over tourism, as you said, because we see during the season time Nainital gets choked. So, sir, what I can do, although there are many specific steps like, starting a shuttle service or multi-level parkings, what as a broader idea, what I can do, there are many beautiful places near Nainital. There's a place called Mahesh Khan where Tagore ji visited and he sat up on a hill and wrote a poem. It's called the Tagore Top. And there is other places like Nokuchia Tal, then we have Bhim Tal, then there are other places called this one village called the
No,
Vinayak
what
village.
are you trying to
So
tell?
I was saying that if we could develop these places as an alternative, and then we could redirect that over tourism that comes to Nainital to these other places, I think we would first of all have an increase in employment opportunities for the people and also have a sustainable way of tourism. In fact, opening up of homestays, etc., that is included in the specific.
Till such time these alternative sites or destinations are developed, because it is people's will where they want to go.
Yes, sir.
Till such time, would you regulate the flow of tourists into Nainital?
Sir, I think it can be a viable step because we have seen that during the peak season time, we see that those tourists who do not have a reservation in the city of Nainital, they are not allowed to get into Nainital with their own private vehicles.
Okay.
So that can be done.
So, Anshul, but what exactly is your objective of in taking civil services as your career?
Sir, if I may, sir, I was in class 12th and Honorable the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, in one of his speeches in Exam Warriors, he said that do not dream of becoming something or dream of doing something. So, sir, my dream has always been to serve the country. Man samarpit, tan samarpit, aur hai jeevan samarpit, chahata hu matri-bhu, tujhko abhi kuch aur bhi do. So, it might seem a little cocky or over the top, but I think, sir, this is who I am. In fact, my father told me while I was coming to Delhi, he told me that this life is not for you, it is for the service of others. So I think if I am able to get into civil service, I've been associated with social sectors, as I told you, the Mansingling School and
Just to cut you short,
yes, sir.
You have in your introduction also mentioned that you were in Student Union, Stephen's College, and many more presidents of. So why did you not choose politics?
Yes, sir, indeed, that is a very viable career option. But I think so, sir, to get into politics, you need to have a very strong political background, and it will take you many years. But sir, if I think I can serve my country better and I can create more impact by getting into the civil services, because sir, I think although we have very good officers, but I think I can do my part by being a part of the administrative mechanism.
All right. Supreme Court has made a lot of reforms in election management, election system of the country. Can you recall some of them lately?
So, sir, one is the doing away with the privileges that had shielded the MPs and MLAs from accepting bribes and then voting according to it. And the second was the electoral bond scheme that was.
What is the first one? I didn't get it.
Bribe for vote. That
Right.
PV Narasimha Rao case. So the
What has Supreme Court adjudged? in
Sir,
this?
Supreme Court has overturned the PV Narasimha Rao case.
Oh,
Then-
you are referring to the JMM bribery.
Yes, sir. Bribery case.
All right. What else? And you mentioned
So
electoral
the
bonds.
scrapping of, yes, sir.
Mhm. Suppose you were to, you know, vote for a candidate in your area.
Yes, sir.
How would you know about his antecedents, criminal antecedents, his with the corrupt practices? Is there any data which can be accessed to know about your candidate?
Yes, sir. In fact, there are two ways I can do that. First, it is mandated by the election commission itself. So they have a website where they host that data. And second is there are other non-profit organizations like the ADR, PUCL, etc. Those have a list of the candidates who are standing for
So,
election.
what are the data which are required by election commission?
Sir, although I'm not privy to the exact technical details, but it does include the educational qualifications.
All right.
Then we have how much money he makes,
Okay.
how much property he has, if he has
All
any
right.
criminal cases against him or not.
Thank you, Anshul.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, Anshul, you are from Uttarakhand.
Yes, sir.
So, tell me two things which you like the most about the Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand and two things which you think could have been better.
So first thing is it has given equal right to the woman in terms of marriage. So it has done away with the practice of nikah halal and polygamy. Second, sir, I think it has a caveat that it won't be applicable to the tribal regions of Uttarakhand, especially the Jaunsar Bawa region and other tribes that live in Uttarakhand. And sir, two things that I do not like. Sir, I was reading in one of the magazines. It's a legal magazine. So what it says, there are certain legal niceties in the drafting of the act. That while it talks about the interstate succession for the women, so there are certain misgivings about it. That is a technical point. And second thing, sir, I think the living relationship clause that has been added, it could be it could be improved upon a little bit more.
Okay, you have studied political science, history, EVS, and economics.
Sir, if I may, sir, my
Yes.
core disciplines were political science and history.
Okay, political science and
Yes.
history.
Others have studied only for a semester.
Okay, so shall I not ask from economics?
Next, sir, as the boards will, sir, it will be my duty.
Anyways, so now coming to electoral bonds.
Ji, sir.
What's your opinion regarding Supreme Court's decision?
Sir, I think it is a really well written and good decision in part of the Supreme Court. But
so,
sir,
do you think the system before the electoral bonds were there was more transparent?
Sir, it was not. And especially, sir, when the electoral bond scheme was introduced by late Mr. Jaitley, he said that we are bringing this for curbing black money and transparency. And they had to do away with this anonymous that is bearer bonds in the later successive stage. But that did not happen, and that is why we saw that Supreme Court has now scrapped it down.
Okay. Now, coming to history.
Ji, sir.
So, tell me 3 events in India's history which you think should not have happened.
It should not have happened. So that's a tough one. Can I take a moment
Yes.
to think about it? Thank you, sir. Sir, if I talk about, I think starting from the very recent ones, I think, sir, we could have avoided the 1962 war. That is one thing. Then, sir, if we talk about 1947 partition, then there were certain invasions in the medieval times, like the Ghaznavids who came in, looted the Somnath temple, went back. Well, all the invasions that could have been stopped because we were stuck in the Panipat syndrome. If we could think about the Hindu Kush strategy of national defense, we could have, certainly avoided those invasions that we had.
Okay. So, I will ask you a very simple question on economy.
Yes, sir.
So, where do you see Indian economy in 2030?
2030, sir. So I think it would become the 4th largest economy by that time. I think we should be able to clock around 7 to 10 trillions in the GDP.
Okay. Now, you are involved in social service, coordinator of teacher training. Okay. So, now as per ASA report,
Yes.
many students are not able to solve basic arithmetic also.
Yes.
Who are in class 6 or 7.
Yes.
So, what suggestions or solutions could you provide for this?
Sir, I think one is we have to train teachers how to, if you could increase the skills of the teachers, they could, help the students. And second thing is, sir, if we could teach them in local languages, so it would be more beneficial. Like even in our own state, if we could teach them in Kumaoni and Gadwali at the very primary stage, I think they would be able to learn much more and better.
So thank you, Anshul, as of now.
Thank you, sir.
Anshul, what is a good model for economic growth of UP in your view?
UP,
Uttarakhand, sorry.
Uttarakhand. So, sir, up till until now, we have followed the UP model of development, set up industries in the Terai region, and it has constituted around 80% of the economic development. But, sir, I think if we could invest into number one, that is horticulture. Number two is high tech industry like the semiconductors. And, sir, number three is tourism, because we have immense potential for tourism in Uttarakhand. So, in fact, we are thinking of increasing the tourist footfall to around 700 billion.
So this recent global summit, which was organized by Government of Uttarakhand, which type of industries are coming?
Sir, although I'm not privy to the exact technical details, but all sorts of industries are coming. There's also provision for semiconductors. And I said there was this new concept called the Wed in India, so it was Wed in Uttarakhand. So that is also coming.
Good. So you won some bid wars.
Yes, sir.
So what is this bid war you won?
Sir, this was a competition, so where we had to bid on the questions. We had certain points, we had to bid on the questions, and if we could solve that questions, we could get 2x amount of the points, and if the questions were harder, the bidding amount was lower. So it was something.
What is this grey zone warfare, Anshul?
So grey zone warfare is the interface between all-out war and all-out peace. So what we are seeing happening in, if I may cite an incident, what happened in Doklam, or what happened in Sumdrongshu, or what happened in Kalwan. So we are seeing that it is not all-out war. China is not engaging in all-out war, but it is not. There is no concept of peace either. So it includes other types of war, like the information war. There can be psychological operations.
Okay, good. Anshul, this Vibrant Village program.
Yes, sir.
I think many villages of Uttarakhand are also covered.
Yes, sir.
So any impact now has become visible, or still program is yet to be launched at the ground level?
Sir, if I can remember correctly, I think it is around 50 villages in Uttarakhand.
Mm-hmm.
So, sir, if I talk about the Chamole district, so there are two villages there, the Mana and the Niti. So, if we talk about specifically about the Mana village, I think we have the Niti village, sorry, Niti village. So, there was no telephone connectivity there before. But now what they have done, they have installed a BSNL dish. So, they are giving them internet and they can make phone calls through internet. So, sir, that has changed, and there are other villages in Pithoragarh, Pita, Gunji, Kunti, etc.
And what is your concept of a smart village? Smart village.
Yes, sir.
Vibrant village we have just discussed.
Yes, sir.
What is your concept of a smart village?
Sir, a smart village can be made smart only by smart people. So I think we have to invest in the people, the youth that constitute the 70% of population of India, then the women, then the elders, and then the men. They should be skilled in technology and in employment opportunity.
Okay, good. Now, I see from your DAF that you were in leadership role at different
Yes, sir.
college, schools.
Yes, sir.
So, what leadership traits do you think would be useful for you as a civil servant?
Sir, first is domain competence. That is the sine qua non. I need to be competent at whatever I do. Then, sir, second should be courage.
Okay, good.
Then, sir, third should be, third should be the quality of a servant leadership. As our Honorable Prime Minister says, he is not the Pradhan Mantri, he is the Pradhan Sevak. So I should be a servant first, not an administrator.
Good.
Then, sir, if I talk about the fourth thing, this was told to me by the then Cabinet Secretary when I went there to extend an invitation for a college program. So he told me that a good leader should be able to inspire people into action. So if you need to cross a sea, do not tell them to build a boat or build ships. Tell them to make them inspire. So they yearn for the sea themselves.
Okay, good. My last question.
Yes, sir.
Minilateralism, tell me 2 pluses, 2 minuses of minilateralism.
So positives are there is greater cohesion, the steps can be taken in a faster thing, and another advantage would be that there are many options we can engage. We can make militaries at different countries. And some negatives can be fragmentation of globalization, and then there can be a situation of war, because one minilateral can be seen as pitted in opposition to second minilateral,
Okay.
like Quad versus China, something like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Anshul.
Thank you,
Over to
sir.
So, Anshul, obstacle race and swimming,
Yes, sir.
draw some learnings and traits of these two that you would like to bring and adopt in civil services.
So if I talk about obstacle race, it was a team event. So when I was in Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi, I had partaken in this event, the obstacle race. So, sir, I learned the skill of leadership because in our patrol we had members of 5. We all
So just bring out the
right.
traits.
That is one is leadership, and sir, second in swimming, I think it would be agility, flexibility, and not fearing the unknown. Because when you are in water or ocean, there is like fear of unknown. What is beneath us? It could be a shark. No one knows.
All right. Anshul, another thing that you have written in your DAF is Vivekanand Studies Circle.
Ji, sir.
Right. So, one teaching from Vivekanand that has motivated and inspired you most.
So although there are
Just
but one thing I would say, sir, his gospel of arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. So that
Say that again.
arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved.
All right. Graphic designing, two-dimensional.
Yes, sir.
But my question is, can we design a house with the help of 3D drawing and design?
Yes, sir. I think we can design a house. So there are certain softwares like the AutoCAD, if I'm correct, and C4D. So we can design 3D models of the house. Then using additive manufacturing process, you can print 3D models of the house and you can assemble a house.
Cheating is a big thing now.
Yes, sir.
Cheating and copying in examinations.
Right, sir.
If you get a chance to make a policy on cheating and copying in examinations, what all would you like to incorporate to check this big problem?
Sir, first thing is a very strict law that would be enforced very strictly. So whoever is leaking the exams, so he would be held liable, and he would be held liable and rigorous imprisonment. That is one thing. And sir, if you talk about the second thing, I think we'll have to start by educating students that do not teach, because until and unless we educate students, so however we force them, so that would not be a good idea. If we could, have some policy changes that would inculcate this value, so that would be great.
Any use of technology you would like to do
Right,
to
sir.
check the minutes of?
Yes, sir. In fact, this is a very good point. We can have jammers in the centers. Then there can be facial recognition systems to match the face with the admit card using AI. Then there can be other things like you can have advanced scanners to scan the body.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anshul,
Ji, sir.
your optional is PSIR.
Ji, sir.
Now tell me how the psychological warfare between India and China is playing out.
Okay. Sir, what China is doing, China is, if I may use this word, they are spreading their tentacles all over the Indian Ocean region, and also they are sending their troops to the border region of India. So by sending the troops to the border region of India, India has to, set aside an inordinate amount for the army. So we are not able to invest money for the Navy to, say, buy another aircraft carrier that is for around 65 to 80,000 tons. The aircraft carriers, we have only 45,000 tons. Then we are not able to invest into new submarines and new nuclear submarines. So this is kind of a psychological operation that China is playing. And sir, if I talk about some other instance, so it would be the amount of cyber attacks that China is doing and information warfare specifically on Twitter.
But they all are tangible and directly correlated. A psychological warfare may be a warfare where you are not able to correlate the things,
Yes, sir.
but still the harm is done.
Yes, sir.
These are the correlated activities what you just talked about.
Yes.
What is public opinion warfare?
Public opinion warfare. So, sir, if I may say, China, if I may say America, they had sent their troops to Vietnam. So, but with the course of the time, the public opinion within America.
I am asking about a public opinion warfare that China employs.
So, sir, we have seen that especially in the 2014 American elections, there were reports that Chinese and Russians, they have hacked into the systems of US and tried to interfere with the elections through Twitter, through Facebook ads, through other means. So that can be touted as an example of public
You talked about that you are writing something on folklore of Kumaon or
Yes.
something like that. What is the folklore of Rajula Malusai?
Yes, sir. Sir, in fact, sir, it is a very beautiful story. So, Rajula and Malushai. So, Rajula is a lady who belongs to the Sunpati Shoka. So, the Shoka, Bhotia, they are the tribes that live in Pithoragarh. Then Malushai is a king of Rangila Berat. That is somewhere around Almora. So,
Which dynasty?
Hmm?
Which dynasty this Malusai belonged to?
Sir, Malushai, sir, I'm extremely sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall right now.
Okay.
Right.
You also talked about Hindu Kush.
Ji, sir.
Many scientists recently, about a month back, have assembled in Nepal and they have declared that the Hindu Kush Himalaya region is a very fragile and very in a very delicate condition as far as the biodiversity erosion is concerned.
Yes.
Have you heard of this news? Himalayan biosphere, Hindu Kush Himalayan region biosphere.
Sir,
Have you heard something about IC mode?
Sir, which report?
IC mode, International Integrated Mountain Development Organization.
No, sir, I'm extremely sorry, sir. I haven't heard about this.
The 8 countries, including India. So the Hindu Kush biological area
Ji, sir.
is spread from Afghanistan to Myanmar, the Himalayan area, and they say that it is on brink of collapse.
Okay, sir.
You don't have any idea of that.
Sir, I had an overarching idea about the problems in the Hindu Kush area, but not exactly about this news.
How many biodiversity hotspots are there in India?
Sir, I'm not able to recall exactly. I think it's around 3. If I'm
Around 3.
extremely sorry, sir.
No issue, no issue. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anshul,
Ji, sir.
why is United States an economic power?
United States is an economic.
Power.
Sir,
And you already know that US dollar is under huge debt.
yes, sir.
Do you know debt to
Yes, sir.
GDP ratio?
Yes, sir.
How much it is?
Sir, for India, it is around.
No,
100.
not for India, for US.
So I think, sir, I'm not
All right.
sure.
So tell me why USA is an economic superpower.
So first of all, I think it is because of their treasury bonds. So they can influence the whole of the economic situation of the world by increasing and decreasing the rates of the treasury bonds. Then they also have the hold over the SWIFT network. So whosoever needs to transfer money, so they were the progenitors of the SWIFT network to transfer money from one country to another. And the third is they have invested heavily in research and development, and they have moved towards a military industrial complex. Then during the Second World War also they provided money for the construction of Europe, the Marshall Plan, and then the economies got integrated. And so if we talk about the fourth thing, it is also immigration in America that is happening, because through immigration the workforce of America is always young.
What is the advantage of signing FTA that was done yesterday
Yes, sir.
to India?
So I think, sir, it would open up the markets. That is one thing. Our exports would increase. Then they have also talked about 100 billion investment into Indian industries by the 4 countries. So that would bring in great.
One last question I want to ask you is on Ukraine-Russia war.
Yes, sir.
Where do you think the end will lie to Russia-Ukraine war?
Sir, I think it would be more like a stalemate, because as we have seen, they have dug in like World War I trench warfare. So I think we'll have to wait and watch for the elections in America. If Trump returns to power, I think we'll see a conciliation between Russia and Ukraine. And if that does not happen, I think Russia will try to have those elections in the Donetsk and Donbas region, and will include it like it did with the Georgian region and the Crimean region in the past.
All right. Anshul, with this we come to an end of our mock. So I can ask you one last question from your DAF, if you think any area of your DAF has not been covered.
So I think the board has exhaustively covered all areas of my lab. So.
All right. So Anshul, you can wait outside. We'll
Yes,
call
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
So Anshul, now we are in informal session.
Yes.
So tell us how how you think about your own performance?
So I think it was fine.
So any areas of knowledge or communication or anything you think needs to be?
So I think I got a little bit nervous in the middle.
Yeah.
So this is one of my idiosyncrasies. So whenever I tend to get nervous, I tend to speak like really fast. So that was an issue in the middle, especially. So apart from that, I think I have to brush up on my current affairs a little bit more. Like till I have my interview is on 14, 3 days from now. So
14-3,
Yes,
oh,
sir.
hardly
few days now.
All right, all right. So, Anshul, you are doing very well.
Thank you.
You are very clear-headed, no confusion, very confident.
Thank you.
Just two advice. Number one, you speak very fast.
Yes, sir.
Number two, at times in speaking fast, you miss out on the main point that you want to say.
Right.
So you can be brief
Yes, sir.
and you can be structured.
Yes, sir.
That is one advice I would like to give. And let's hear from the members, because I asked you questions and you addressed them beautifully.
Thank you.
In case of copying and cheating,
Yes, sir.
don't forget use of technology.
Yes, sir.
You know, this has become such a major issue. We like to see your innovative
Right.
skills in addressing such an issue.
Right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Then 3D printing, yes, houses have been made in Germany.
Yes.
Read more on, because you have written 2D
Yes.
design.
So in fact, here ये lighthouse projects in India. They were also
So
some of
थोड़ा
that.
सा उसको आप देख लेना.
Yes.
I liked your comparison of swimming obstacle with civil service.
Yes, sir.
Think about, and maybe you come out with obstacle race.
Right, sir.
You know, you have to be careful at each obstacle and still win the race. So it teaches you to understand that there will be obstacles, but we have to win the race.
Right, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
So आपको सिविल सर्विस में भी समस्याएं आएंगी.
Yes, sir.
You have to overcome them. So those are the traits of overcoming the obstacle.
Right, sir.
Rest all you were good on the EFTA, USA, economic superpower. Good. So let's see.
Yeah, Anshul, you are a good candidate.
Thank you.
You are full of energy.
Thank you, sir.
But you need to pull up your socks
Yes, sir.
as far as Uttarakhand climate and environment is concerned.
Yes, sir.
You note down that.
Yes, sir.
Uttarakhand climate environment.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So in this regard, this IC mode and it's a Himalayan biosphere reserve, Hindu Kush biosphere reserve area.
Right, sir.
Plus Uttarakhand biosphere reserves, this Nanda Devi and other things, you know.
Right, sir.
So
Yes,
read
sir.
about Nanda Devi, read about other biosphere reserves and wildlife national parks, etc. Just have a reading of 1 hour or 2 hours about
Yes, sir.
all these things. This is important for you.
Yes, sir.
Second is the fragile nature of the Himalayan, उत्तराखंड जोशीमठ का वो सिंक हो गया था, सब हो गया था, फ्रेजाइल नेचर, उसके बारे में यू हैव टू रीड अ लॉट. थर्ड इज द रिलीजियस टूरिज्म और फोर्थ इज द इकोनॉमी ऑफ उत्तराखंड. ठीक है. हाँ, और टूरिज्म के बारे में भी जरा पढ़ो आप.
जी, सर.
राजूराम मालू, हिस्ट्री के बारे में पढ़ो. मालू शाही वो कत्यूरी राजा का लड़का था.
हाँ, सर, वो थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन
हो गया. कत्यूरी का लड़का.
वाल सर हूण देश का वो था.
हाँ, वो हूण देश का था और ये कत्यूरी का था.
हाँ, तो उसमें-
ठीक है, दोनों राजा के लड़के लड़कियां थे.
जी, सर.
और ये बागेश्वर में मेरे ख्याल से कहानी बनी है.
हाँ, सर,
बागेश्वर से,
बागनाथ मंदिर में.
बागेश्वर में कहीं बनी है कहानी है. तो ये फोकलोर है.
जी, सर.
हाँ.
जैसे गढ़वाल का ऐसे जीतू बगड़वाल का है.
हाँ, तो ये सब आपको याद है. तो इसको जो है, अच्छा जब आप बताएंगे तो आराम से पहले पॉज लीजिए, आराम से बताइए, जल्दीबाजी में मत बताइए, जल्दी जल्दी आराम से बताइए, क्योंकि आप बहुत अच्छे कैंडिडेट हैं. यू आर अ वेरी गुड कैंडिडेट, आई टेल यू, एंड यू हैव ऑल द पोटेंशियल टू बिकम अ गुड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर. लेकिन आप जरा एनर्जी, तो यंग हो आप तो एनर्जी है ना, तो उसको जरा सा बैलेंस तरीके से करके कि हाँ सर दिस इज द थिंग, दिस इज द थिंग, ये सब करके. तो उत्तराखंड की जो समस्याएं हैं दे आर मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. समस्याओं के बारे में पढ़ो. टूरिज्म है, ये जो मैंने अभी बताया सर, क्लाइमेट वगैरह है, रेन है, ग्लेशियर्स. यस, ग्लेशियर का एक उत्तराखंड में ग्लेशियर का जो रिसीडिंग हो रहा है, पीछे जा रहे हैं ग्लेशियर, उसका क्या करोगे. उत्तराखंड का डिफॉरेस्टेशन हो रहा है, उसका क्या करोगे. ठीक है ना. ये जो प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में आप जरा पढ़िए. और आईआर में आप चाइना और ये इसके बारे में, चाइना की एक 3 वार स्ट्रेटेजी है,
जी,
देख
सर.
लो.
जी, सर.
चाइना की 3 वार स्ट्रेटेजी पढ़िए आप,
जी, सर.
तब आपको पब्लिक ओपिनियन वारफेयर और ये सब समझ में आएगी कि साइकोलॉजिकल वॉरफेयर, पब्लिक ओपिनियन वॉरफेयर, लीगल वॉरफेयर, ये सब है उसमें।
मीडिया क्या वॉरफेयर?
मीडिया का वॉरफेयर, तो उसका क्या क्या कहाँ कहाँ है, उसमें एग्जाम्पल भी दे रखे हैं, तो वो सब पढ़िए आप, ठीक है, ये करिए। और PSIR में इंडिया का जो फॉरेन पॉलिसी डेवलप हुआ है ना 1950 से अब तक, उसमें हमारे जयशंकर साहब ने 6 फेज बताए हैं, 6, वो भी पढ़िए आप, 6 फेजेज ऑफ इंडियन डिप्लोमेसी 1950 to 2000 अभी तक 24 तक, ठीक है
जी सर।
ये आप करिए तो आपका बहुत अच्छा इंटरव्यू होगा। और धीरे धीरे बोलिए, जल्दीबाजी मत आंसर दीजिए, ठीक है।
जी सर, आई विल ट्राई माय बेस्ट।
हाँ, यू ट्राई योर बेस्ट, कि आराम से बोलिए, पूरी बात समझा के बोलिए। आप बता रहे हैं आपकी नॉलेज है, लेकिन जल्दी जल्दी आप बोल रहे हो, जल्दी। हाँ, फॉर्मल तरीके से बात करिए, बहुत अच्छा रहेगा। यू आर अ वेरी गुड कैंडिडेट, यू विल डू वेरी वेल, आई टेल यू। ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट।
अंशुल, बाकी तो सब पॉइंट्स पे बात हो गई है। एक तो आपने जो नमस्ते किया ना आके, वो उसको थोड़ा देखिए आप। देखिए UPSC इंटरव्यू इज वेरी फॉर्मल, और उसका एक सेट SOP है, उसमें उससे वेरिएशन लाने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है ना। आप सोचते हो कि अब ये ठीक है, तो गुड कल्चरल, हमारा हिंदू कल्चर है, नमस्ते करते हैं, तो UPSC बोर्ड के लिए छोड़ो, उसमें मत कीजिए। सिंपली एंटर द रूम, और एंटर करते ही जैसे ही आप कुर्सी के पास आते हैं, खड़े होकर गुड मॉर्निंग सर, गुड इवनिंग सर, अगर सब एक ही बार बोल रहा है चेयरमैन को, बट लुक एट ऑल अदर मेंबर्स, इफ देयर इज ओनली वंस,
गुड मॉर्निंग टू द ऑनरेबल बोर्ड, ऐसे
नहीं, ऑनरेबल वगैरह कुछ नहीं बोला, गुड मॉर्निंग सर। अगर एक सारे मेल मेंबर है, अगर लेडी मेंबर है साथ में तो, बट चेयरमैन को पहले बोलना है, अगर वो जेंट्स है तो उनको पहले ही बोलना। आपको वीमेन फर्स्ट का रूल अप्लाई नहीं होता, बिकॉज ही इज द बोर्ड चेयरमैन। गुड मॉर्निंग सर एंड देन गुड मॉर्निंग मैडम। इफ लेडी मेंबर है तो गुड मॉर्निंग मैडम, इफ शी द चेयरपर्सन देन गुड मॉर्निंग मैडम एंड गुड मॉर्निंग सर, दैट इज वन। दूसरा, आप मतलब काफी जैसे झुक के भी आपने किया ना, वो करने की जरूरत नहीं, बिल्कुल भी फॉर्मल झुकने की, और दैट इज नॉट द ओकेजन, ये कोई पर्सनल उसमें नहीं जा रहा, बिल्कुल एक एज ए सिविल सर्वेंट जा रहे हो, ठीक है। और फास्ट स्पीकिंग का आपको बोल ही दिया आपको। एक आपका हैंड मूवमेंट बहुत एक्सेसिव था, तो ये नॉन वर्बल जो है ना मूवमेंट, ये ठीक, कन्वर्सेशन ठीक नहीं है, यूज योर वर्ड्स ओनली। हाथ का थोड़ा बहुत कर लीजिए, बट आपका हैंड मूवमेंट बड़ा एक्सेसिव था, उसको जरा चेक कर लीजिए। बाकी आपके नॉलेज वगैरह में आपका यू आर वेरी गुड, नो इशू। बस ये 2-3 चीज़ें आप करेंगे, और बाकी एनर्जी में आपकी कोई कमी नहीं है, बल्कि जैसा चेयरमैन सर ने कहा कि एनर्जी को थोड़ा अच्छे ढंग से चैनलाइज करके क्वेश्चन को आंसर आपको आता है, और आप इतनी फास्ट स्पीकिंग में बोल जाते हैं कि उसको फिर वो मेंबर जो है वो पेश नहीं कर पाएंगे समझने के अंदर। तो पॉइंट वाइज बोलिए, सर दिस वन, सेकेंडली, थर्डली करके बोल दीजिए, एंड यू विल डू वेरी वेल, आई एम श्योर। आपका बड़ा मतलब फुल ऑफ एनर्जी है, एक अच्छे जो सिविल सर्वेंट के अंदर, यू आर यंग, UPSC लुकिंग फॉर फ्यूचर कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरीज, ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट।
थैंक्स अ लॉट।
तो अंशुल, मेरा भी ये ओपिनियन है, आई सीरियसली बिलीव दैट यू हैव द पोटेंशियल to score 70% easily, which is one of the highest in UPSC, provided you adhere to few suggestions. So मैं कुछ suggestions आपको दूंगा only for, तो कि आपका स्कोर इंप्रूव हो जाए, है ना। तो जो छोटी छोटी गलतियां आपने की हैं, तो ताकि उस दिन आप ये जाके मत कर दो, नंबर 1, ठीक है। अभी जैसे इनफॉर्मल की बात हुई है, उसका एक एग्जाम्पल मैं देता हूँ। कोई क्वेश्चन पूछा है, सो आपका रिप्लाई था इट्स अ टफ वन। So whether it's a tough or easy one, so who is the interviewer?
Right, sir.
मतलब so let's not be the interviewer. हो गया फ्लो में, ये वहाँ ना हो जाए, यहाँ हो गया चलेगा, है ना, वहाँ ना हो जाए थोड़ा सा, है ना। तो इसको अवॉइड कर देना। आपने भी सोचा रहे कैसे सोचो, तो आप ना, इससे क्या हो रहा है, यू आर रिएक्टिंग, इट मीन्स यू आर नॉट एबल टू कंट्रोल योर इमोशंस। सो उस समय रिएक्ट नहीं करना है, सो इट इज नॉट अ गुड पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ अ सिविल सर्वेंट, है ना। तो वो आप अवॉइड कर लेना, ठीक है। उसके बाद एक वाई सिविल सर्विसेज में, वो ठीक था आपका आंसर, बट सर्विंग द नेशन और कंट्री की जगह ना, यू कैन रिप्लेस द वर्ड विद सोसाइटी। नेशन में ना वो आर्मी वाली फीलिंग आती है, आप हो भी उत्तराखंड से, है ना, तो वो फीलिंग जो आती है वो आर्मी वाली आती है। तो सर ने क्या बोला कि पॉलिटिशियन क्यों नहीं बन जाते, है ना, तो उस लाइन में जाना ही नहीं है। सोसाइटी इज अ बेटर वर्ड, सर इट प्रोवाइड्स एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर पब्लिक सर्विस एट अ वाइडर प्लेटफॉर्म। बस
ये स्टैंडर्ड आंसर है। ये देखिए, आप लोग कई बार कहते हैं आप कुछ नया बोलो, अबे नया बोले तो तब ना कि जब कुछ हो ऐसा। अब आप उसमें बचपन की और वो सब जिलाने की जरूरत नहीं है आपको।
हाँ, नंबर 3 लास्ट पॉइंट, मैंने पूछा यू हैव स्टडीड दिस एंड दिस इन ग्रेजुएशन, आपने बोला नहीं सर इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ा नहीं है। अब इसका इम्प्लीकेशन समझो। इम्प्लीकेशन मीन्स you do not want us to ask on economics, बात वो नहीं है, you are not ready to accept challenges, यू आर ट्राइंग टू इवेजिव, वो एस्पेक्ट ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी सामने आ रहा है। वो कब बोलना है, लेट देम आस्क, वहां पे आप आंसर नहीं दे पाए ना, उस समय बोल देना। आपने क्या रोक दिया पहले ही,
जी सर,
यहां तो चलेगा, कोई इशू नहीं है। वहां पे दे हैव द पावर टू गिव मार्क्स, एंड कोई अगर उनको लगा यार मुझे रोक क्यों रहा है,
जी सर,
वो स्लैश हो जाएंगे मार्क्स।
आंसर देने के बाद फिर शायद
हाँ, अगर आपका आंसर अच्छा नहीं आ रहा है, सर आई हैव लिमिटेड नॉलेज एज माय मेजर्स वर हिस्ट्री एंड पॉलिटिकल साइंस, इनडायरेक्टली, डायरेक्टली नहीं, सबटली एकदम, है ना, आप एकदम ब्लंटली, सर इकोनॉमिक्स में मत पूछो, सिग्नल जा रहे हो।
although I did not mean that, but still it is giving that signal.
We meant that.
Right, sir.
It is not important that what do you mean.
Yes sir.
What do the panel means, that is more important ना, मार्क्स तो वो दे रहे
जी
हैं,
सर,
आपका मीनिंग वो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, बट वो इंटरप्रेट हो रहा है।
जी सर,
जा रहा है ना,
हाँ जी
Message
सर,
So
जा रहा है।
Anshul, I hope you have gathered and acquired all the
Yes,
points. Today we have given you 65%.
179.
179 marks.
So I'm sure you will do much better. Wish you all the best.
thank you sir, thanks,
Godspeed.
All the best.
thank you sir,
All the best.
All the best.
thank you sir.